morning. This is our Sunday morning, and we are here in Pangong. Just finished our Sunday morning service with the whole team. Now we are gonna head out. We are leaving to Hanle today. It's a 200-kilometer ride. I think yesterday was 250. Today is gonna be 200. So, hoping to reach by evening.
That song absolutely echoes what we were feeling on this particular day. It is a Sunday morning and we are on our journey all the way from Pangong Lake and we are headed to Hanle. This was, of course, a very unique terrain that we encountered. We had to go through a lot of looping roads while we were climbing up on this mountain. This road was not actually part of our original itinerary that our tour guides provided, but because we had seen this place on Instagram Reels, we recommended that to our ride captain, and he graciously agreed to take us through this route, and it was absolutely worth it. The aerial shots, the actual climb over these loops, all the off-roading that some of us had the daring to do, it was all absolutely worth it and beautiful. We also encountered some lakes on the way, on both sides of the way, and that scene is something that is already etched into our minds, and we can't ever forget the sight of those lakes by the side of these mountains, and that was amazing. This journey would eventually take us to a pass by the name Kaksangla Pass. This is not something that people usually traverse by, but we happened to go through this particular route because of those Loopy mountain way that we took up. And that was a surprise that was so worth it, because it was just ready for our arrival. It was not too much snowed in, and at the same time it was just beginning to snow up, and if we had arrived a couple of hours later, we couldn't have crossed this particular mountain pass. And we are so grateful to the Lord that we reached there just in time, because the moment we reached there, it immediately started snowing, which means the temperature was actually in the negatives. By the time we reached on top, we couldn't bear the cold anymore. It was so cold over here. Out of all the mountain passes that we crossed, I feel personally that this was that one place which was the coldest. And because of the snow, we had to be very careful to make sure we don't slip in this particular place, because the roads were also snowed in. Unlike the other roads where we traveled by, the snow would be on the corners or the sides of the road, and the road would actually be clear. And here we are at the top, and it begins to snow. Even though we were all acting very brave, we were really freezing in this particular place. It was hard. Unlike all other mountain passes, this was the one place where it was just our team. We were the only ones who were at this particular location. It was very special, but the cold was so much that we had to get out of here. We had already crossed lunchtime, and yet there was no restaurants anywhere on this mountain, and we were famished. We were desperately looking forward to reaching a place where we can eat some food. But that wouldn't happen for another few more hours. We had to come down the mountain and reach a small town where we would eventually find food by maybe 3 or 4 p.m. this afternoon. The previous day, when we had actually reached Pangong, our organizers, they filled an entire drum full of petrol for all of our bikes. Now when we were on this journey, we kind of got a glimpse of why they said there's going to be no fuel pumps, there's going to be no restaurants easily available, and this is going to be that one stretch where we would have to be on our own. And we are so grateful that we had one another, and we are so grateful we had enough resources in the reserve, in a vehicle coming with us to take care of us on this particular journey. The closer we got to Hanle, the terrain continued to evolve and change. When we left from Pangong, we could see green all over the mountains, green color rocks, but closer to Hanle, everything turned maroon. If you can see the sand ahead of us, the mountains, the rocks, everything had this maroonish tinge, and that was very unique on this particular stretch of the road leading us to Hanle. And yay, finally we get to stop for lunch. Thank you for staying till the end. I'll get back with the remaining part of our journey in the next vlog. God bless you guys.
The legs are still feeling good.
Mila.